Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining me here. So I'm on the Tesla website right now, and I'm looking at this offer from Tesla. They have in inventory Tesla Cybertrucks, the Foundation Series. Foundation Series is what they first launched with. It had a $20,000 premium to it. One benefit to the Foundation Series Cybertrucks is they came with like full self-driving, subscription paid for, premium connectivity. There's a couple little accessories. These ones don't come with the PowerShare $2,500 option. So the original Foundation Series back in 2024, they came with this PowerShare bundle option where it would give you a $2,500 credit to help pay for and install the PowerShare, like two-way charging with your truck, which is kind of cool. So it doesn't include that. The end of the month it expires, but you can get free supercharging for the life of the car. Now, as long as you own it, if it transfers, it doesn't transfer. Tesla no longer is doing the stays with the car supercharging, but if you keep this truck for a long time, this could be worthwhile. Cybertruck Foundation Series starts at around $99,000. Now, there are a couple in inventory that have a little bit of a reduced price that are demo vehicles. I'm looking at this one here, $98,130. This is just for the all-wheel drive version. It's not the Cyber Beast, it's just the all-wheel drive. It does come with the upgraded all-terrain tires, and it has the wide interior and lifetime premium connectivity. FSD is included, which is a $8,000 option, and free supercharging. So it's got a few options on it that you'd get beyond what the base Cybertruck. So right now you can get a Cybertruck for $80,000. That's the base all-wheel drive. That's the same version that they're selling right now. And it's basically $20,000 more, but effectively FSD is included. That's $8,000. So how I figure it is that Tesla is basically charging you $12,000 for free supercharging on this truck. In this video, I want to go through a few numbers. I want to crunch the numbers. How much supercharging would you need to do in order to make up that $12,000 price for free supercharging? There's a couple cool calculators online that you can look at that just give you an idea of what the cost would be to drive a certain amount of miles. This is one from chargeevc.org. Pretty easy to find. So you can just put in the miles you travel per day, on the weekends, kind of an average miles. This is calculating 55,000 miles per year. So let's say you drive a ton of miles like that. The Cybertruck gets on average 2.51 miles per kilowatt hour. And if you look at the cost of electricity, now this is to charge at home. Let's say you're going to charge this truck exclusively at home, 14 cents. That's kind of an average cost. Yours could be higher or lower. But for example, that would give you a cost to charge this truck for 1 year, $3,075 if you only charged it at home. And you can see a comparison, 18 mpg, $330 for gas, $10,000. It's almost $7,000 savings if you switch to electric. So for this example, we're looking at someone that drives a lot. So if you're driving 55,000 miles a year, 2.51 miles per kilowatt hour at 14 cents, like I said, $3,075 per year. Now, if you don't have free charging at superchargers, then you just would charge at home, because charging at home's a lot less expensive. If you're charging at superchargers, that's going to be between like 25 to 60 cents per kilowatt hour. So it's a lot cheaper to charge at home, which is what you would do if you didn't have free supercharging anyways. And so if we look at this number of $3,075 per year to charge this truck to drive 55,000 miles per year, it would take almost 4 years or 220,000 miles to break even on a $12,000 upcharge on this truck for free supercharging. So I think the real question is it worth buying one of these Foundation Series in inventory vehicles? Now, it has to be in inventory, only a handful of these available, and it has to be by the end of January that you have to purchase this. Is it worth doing that? I don't know, guys. You'd have to drive a ton of miles, 220,000 miles. Now, let's say if you drive that many miles, you're driving 40 to 60, 70,000 miles a year, and you're using your truck for like business purposes, you're out visiting clients, you're quoting jobs, you're traveling a lot for work. After you reach 220,000 miles, you've kind of broken even. You've kind of paid for that $12,000 upcharge that Tesla's charging you to have free supercharging. And every mile after that you supercharge is going to be kind of like, money gained. One thing to consider, if you're exclusively supercharging, right, which if you have free charging and you have access to a lot of superchargers where you live or around where you're commuting or where you're driving, then it may not be as bad. In my area, it wouldn't be as helpful because I don't have a lot of superchargers that are near or by me or very convenient. So it's kind of an inconvenience to drive to a supercharger. Nearest one to me is like 25 miles away, and it's really not along the route that I normally travel. So that's not a huge benefit for me. So you want to make sure, see where superchargers are available in your area. If there's a lot, let's say you live in like Southern California, there's a ton down there. It's easy to charge there, but you also have to factor in the time that you're gonna have to spend at the superchargers. Let's say you visit a supercharger every single day, and you're putting, 150 to 200 miles of range back into your battery charging. That's going to take probably 25 to 35 minutes per day. But it may not be lost time. Now that if you're working during the day and you're driving to all these different appointments or commuting, and that is time that you could spend working. Like you could check emails, you could work inside of your truck while you're charging. So it may not be a big deal, big loss, but it is going to be some time out of your day that you're going to have to spend sitting at a supercharger. If you're sitting there especially every day if you're driving that much. Now, Tesla does have a kind of some fine print on this free supercharging, and that is it doesn't transfer if you trade in the truck, sell it to someone else. Doesn't follow the truck. It just stays with you. So as long as you own the truck, it stays with you. So you'd have to keep it, you have to keep the truck in your Tesla account in order to maintain that free supercharging. Also, Tesla has kind of some wording that if you overuse the supercharging, they can remove it from your account. They also say like commercial use or rideshare, taxi, things like that are not eligible, but I don't really know how I don't know how they're tracking that. I don't know what they're going to do or if they're going to give you warning like, oh, hey, you're using this too much. If you don't reduce your supercharge using, we're going to cancel this. I don't know if they're going to give you any kind of warning about that. So that would be something you could probably call and ask them about and see what is excessive use, and if you're going to charge once a day for 200 miles, are they going to take it away from you, or would that be allowable? Now the cost to charge, the supercharging cost and electricity at your house is only going to go up in cost, I would think. And so I would assume that, yeah, we're talking about today's prices, but if you keep this truck and you drive it, 400,000 or 500,000 miles, which isn't unheard of, these Tesla vehicles you can put a lot of miles on these things, and you can supercharge them a lot, and they'll be just fine. There's some cool examples on YouTube where there's a guy in England that used a 2016 Model S for taxi service and put over 400,000 miles on it, on the original battery, on the original drive units. Very little maintenance, basically just tires. And he had free supercharging on it and supercharged it multiple times per day. I think this guy is probably the reason why Tesla's putting this wording on there that you can't use it for a taxi service or something like that. Because back when in the early days of the Model S, Tesla had free supercharging for the life of the car, and they didn't have any of these like restrictions. And so this guy here is really taking advantage of that. It's realistic to think that this Cybertruck, you could put 400,000 miles on this and have very little maintenance and very little issues with this. That's definitely feasible. I really don't think that we've seen how capable these vehicles are. Tesla has come a long way since they came out with the Model S in 2012. I think their battery technology is a lot better. The motor and battery technology is a lot better now, and they can withstand more miles, consistent fast charging, and the battery would be just fine on these. So Tesla obviously values this free supercharging around $12,000. There's going to be people that buy these trucks, and they don't nearly supercharge hardly anywhere near that amount of $12,000. And there's going to be some people that really get their money worth and get $20,000, $30,000 worth of free supercharging over the life of the vehicle because they're going to put a ton of miles on it and supercharge it a lot. So it depends on what group you're going to be in. If you drive a ton, this could be an attractive offer to you, but you also have to look at, you're going to be buying a $100,000 truck. The cheapest one you can find right now, $98,000, and that doesn't include tax. That's not the destination fee. So you're right at $100,000 on this truck, and is it worth that when you can buy a regular non-Foundation Series Cybertruck for $78,200, $78,300? So depends on really your driving usage and supercharger access, and if you're going to keep the truck for a long time. If you're going to keep it for 10, 15, 20 years and just put a ton of miles on it, you could come out ahead on this supercharging option. If you're only keeping your truck 4 or 5 years and you put 100,000 miles on it and you get rid of it, don't buy the Foundation Series. It's not worth it. Anyways, guys, I'm curious to see what you think about this. Is this an attractive offer to you to buy a Foundation Series Cybertruck for $100,000 with free supercharging. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one. Thanks.